The following video contains discussion of suicide and attempted suicide.
A mother that truly loves their child doesn't want their child miserable. And he was miserable.
If you hold baby Ricky in your arms right now, what would you tell him?
That no matter what, he's loved.
Did you know I think about you? Did you know I still care?
Ricky's battle was internally, and he just wanted to go home. I recall a time of him laying in his bed. He had mentioned take his life many times. This particular time he said to me very calmly, he said, "Mom, you know, it's gonna happen. And it's gonna be bad for a while, but it's gonna be okay." It's the last thing a mother ever wants to hear from their child.
From the chaos of Saigon to a refugee camp in Pennsylvania, Maya Whelan's journey has been one of resilience and transformation. As a young woman, Maya saw the value in philanthropy and donated her very first paycheck to UNICEF. She is still devoted to a greater cause, and after winning Netflix Squid Games,
I am the winner.
What does it feel like? Squid Game, the challenge, a cultural phenomenon. The winner of Squid Game, the challenge, Maya Whelan. Hey!
Maya is using her platform to inspire change. In her new series, Mother Mai, she embarks on a cross-country road trip, shining a light on nonprofits committed to making the world a better place. Mai is in her home state of North Carolina, visiting a new organization that is already having a huge impact. Mental illness is on the rise among young people, affecting 1 in 7 teenagers. And finding an alternative resource outside of hospitals can be challenging and sometimes lead to a dangerous spiral of self-medicating and substance abuse. The relationship between addiction and suicide is becoming increasingly clear. Those with an alcohol addiction are 10 times more likely than the general population to commit suicide. And those with other drug dependencies are 14 times more likely.
There are many times that people's underlying mental health difficulties end up turning to a substance use disorder or an addiction if the mental health issue is unaddressed. It's self-medicating. Our young people need our time, not all of the medications that are being poured into them.
With facts like these, one can see why suicide is the second leading cause of death among young people, where 22% of high school students have reported seriously considering suicide in 2023. Wendie and her family are all too familiar with these statistics, having had her oldest son fall victim to addiction that ended with him taking his life at just 22 years old. Watching her son suffer for years with mental illness and enduring the pain no mother ever imagines going through after losing her son, Wendie decided to channel this difficult life lesson into something that helped others in crisis. Ricky's Retreat was founded several months after Ricky's death, and their garden has become a safe haven for young people in the community.
We opened a garden, opened a little spot back in our yard. My father actually started planting plants that were given to us when my son passed away, and it just sort of evolved into a safe spot. In just under 2 years, we've had almost 70 contacts. Some want to come in person to the garden.
Without Ricky's Retreat, I'd be so much worse off.
Are you in a good place now?
Yes, it's because of Wendie and Ricky's Retreat.
Others just want a message through social media. Some want phone calls, and we do return phone calls. And most recently, we have made a couple of house calls. So we tell visitors that come just to sort of think of it as a park. It's available to them 24/7.
I just really feel that a lot of people who struggle are very ashamed and are just afraid that they're going to be judged. So they often don't talk about it and they hide it and keep it in. You know, that's what we're trying to do at Ricky's Retreat, is bring awareness to that, because nobody should ever be ashamed for struggling. I like to be able to help other people through my brother and through my story.
What kind of advice do you have for parents that are going through this?
My best advice is to love your children every day to the best of your ability. That's my best advice. The change for me is that I'm very aware that our days are limited, that we have to use every day to the best that we can.
But I still hold you in my heart.
when these days have been and gone.
He's smiling at you right now.
Thank you, Mike.
To have all of this for him and better for the whole world to get better. Thank you.
Turning her family tragedy into hope for others speaks to the deep love Wendie carries for Ricky, acting as an alternative resource for those in need, with hopes to inspire connection through peer support. Ricky's retreat will continue to have a meaningful impact on a community of young folks who need it. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal ideations, help is available 24/7. Call or text 988.